Yes, sir.
We had, man, Grid Zero Podcast. You already know how we carried it, man. This where everything starts from zero. We shoot to the moon. You already know Grid Zero Podcast. We got a Philadelphia legend.
Oh, my goodness.
You know what I'm saying?
One of the greats. My favorite.
My guys, man.
My favorite.
Major figures.
Lyrical assassin.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Creeping with your yayo and your cake at.
Oh, my.
You know what I mean? Jake dig me like a shovel.
Unlimited bars.
Go ahead, man.
Some iconic bars that, like, we heard that nobody else ever said out their mouth. You know what I'm saying? Shit that, like, was unimaginable to us when he was spitting that shit on the Best of Beans and all the mixtape shit that they was spitting out. Then they came with, you know what I'm saying, a hit record. You know what I'm saying? That a lot of people don't, you know, have that success. You know what I'm saying? They had that shit. Truman, first time I heard Yeah, That's Us, where I was at, in Texas. I was in Houston, Texas, in the juvenile facility. I heard that motherfucker. Yeah, I'm like, that's who mentioned figures. I'm like, damn, like, that shit didn't reach down here, and that was like 9-9. Yeah. You feel me? So I'm like, damn, I ain't know, you know, the movement was moving that fast. You feel what I'm saying? It moved fast, because I got booked in 98. They shipped me down there, had a 2-year bid. The next thing I know, I'm hearing Beans on the radio, I'm hearing Major Figures on the radio. I'm like, oh, Philly on some shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, I didn't even realize, you know, the impact that they was having. Because before I left, it was you know, battles and freestyles. Y'all was coming down here, pulled up on the corner in the Maxima or some shit. You know what I mean? To the detail shop and all that type stuff. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? Spade-O,
killing them independently.
Yeah, they killed that, man. You know what I'm saying? So I want to salute you while we got you here. It's a blessing to even have you, bro. World talk. You know what I'm saying?
I'm blessed to still be here, be around. You know what I mean?
Yes. Lyrical assassin, a.k.a. Mr. Nice Coat, all the time. Jacket game is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Hey, man, you got it's cold. It's cold outside. It's cold outside.
For sure.
Cool.
No doubt, man. So we want to get into it, man. What was your upbringing like? What part of the city you repping? And, you know what I mean, let us know, you know, what it took for you to get from a young adolescent to, you know, grown man status. Like, you've been through a lot. You don't got to break it down all in one joint, but just give, you know, some advice to, you know, the youth that's coming up right now and how they could, you know, maneuver some of them potholes and obstacles that you had to go through.
I'm from North Philly. I was raised in Nicetown, you know, by my mother. You know what I mean? I was one of 5. You know what I mean? If I could go back and tell my younger self something, if I would tell her is be disciplined enough to struggle.
Right.
Because the struggle builds character.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And I think in the modern era that we're growing up in now, it's a lot of everybody we grew up in a microwave society, so to say, so everybody wanted instant gratification, everybody wanted to come quick. Right. But usually what comes quick tend to not last long. Sure. Right. So, you know, stay diligent and be confident and have enough courage to be yourself. You know what I mean? Because I grew up a lot of my life being somebody that I wasn't. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, I fell into a lot of pitfalls that I could have avoided. So now at the age, the present time I'm in, the first thing I do when I wake up, after I pray and thank Allah for putting breath in my lungs, I look in the mirror and tell myself that I'm not going to do nothing today to make life harder than it already is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I just move off that every day.
Okay.
Right.
So I've seen one of your successes, you said one of the biggest accomplishments when you knew that you finally made it, you was on Soul Train.
Yeah. I listen.
Don Cornelius, was he still alive?
No. He was still alive, but he wasn't hosting. And
okay.
Shamar Moore from the Criminal Minds guy.
Okay.
Yeah, so I felt kind of cheated.
I know Don.
You know, but the whole thing was like, that was the first time when my mom really...
Yeah. She believed in it.
Yeah.
I believe now. My boy on Soul Train.
Other than that, it was a bunch of noise, you know what I mean? The music was just a bunch of noise, but once I was on Soul Train, she was like, boy, what is you doing on Soul Train? I'm like, Mom, I told you stuff is going on now.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm bipping.
Yeah, but Soul Train wasn't what I thought it was. Like, it was like real, like, choreographed.
Yeah.
So I was like,
It wasn't as live as like as you thought it was.
Nah, yeah.
I figured that out too when I was at the BET Awards going to LA with me.
Award show
I'm like, this is like like a talent show. I'm like, this joint corny for
and it's
real.
so boring. You be like, yo, halfway through you ready to leave.
I'm like, we in church? Like, what's going
The
on?
Grammys are the same way.
Yeah, war
Super
shows.
boring.
Yeah, it's overrated, man.
Super boring.
That's
You
terrible.
know what I'm saying? It's overrated.
For sure.
But we
I'm
enjoy
blessed to
it.
have that experience.
Yeah, it's good to have that experience.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Always get your 1 or 2 or 3 in. You know what I'm saying? To say that you did it. If you're in the music game, but for the most part, I see why people was like boycotting them joints. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a
Like
burn.
Jay, he boycotted, but they ain't had DMX nominated. Will Smith boycotted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, at one time, all the hip hop artists boycotted.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
It wasn't a real category for a while.
Yeah,
So it was
right.
like, even though it was one of the biggest selling genres of music, they didn't acknowledge it. The
Right.
Academy didn't acknowledge it. So that boycott and that step made them have to acknowledge
No
it.
doubt. So now we got Kendrick with 30 Grammys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, everybody got super Grammys now. They like dinner plates in the crib now.
For sure.
Yeah.
Shout out
I'm
to
saying?
the Clips and Ab Lava.
Yes, sir.
sure,
My
for
God,
sure.
my brother, man.
Shout
Yes,
out
sir.
Bringing home
That's
the
two.
gold.
That's
No
two.
doubt.
Lava got
Two for Lava.
Lava got
two.
2.
Woo,
I was
got
gonna get
two.
into that, man.
You
We're
got
doing
2 of
Lava.
them things.
Lava got two.
Hall of Fame 2 coming soon.
Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff. Glory too, you know what I mean?
Glory
Man, like,
too.
you know, I've been doing so much community stuff and the stuff I be into, I kind of be backing out from the
Yeah.
music, you know what I mean? Because I don't really have as much time as I used to.
Right.
But, and Lava's away a lot. So it's
Yeah.
like everybody can't get me off the couch, you know what I mean? So he's
Yeah.
one of the guys that can actually make me get up and
No,
get back in
Lava
the studio.
definitely came through, played us some tracks, man.
Yeah,
Y'all got some heat,
shit,
man.
yeah.
We had a sneak preview,
Played us
Spade.
some
Y'all
shit,
know how
yeah.
you're coming, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we
For
got
sure,
some
you
bombs.
bipping. You know what I'm saying? No, that's what's up. Clark Kent. I want to speak on Clark
the
Kent,
legendary.
man.
The late great, man.
Yes.
Clark Kent was moving y'all around.
I mean, he helped us, New York, accept us because
Right.
he made them accept us. You feel what I'm saying? He didn't just move us around. He used to take us places and be like, yo, these guys rap better than y'all. So he kind of used to go against the
His own
grain.
team, his
You
own
know,
car.
and he wasn't like,
But he was honest, though.
completely. And he never
Completely
tried to be our manager or,
Right. Sign you,
like, he
hold you
didn't-
back.
yeah, he wasn't on none of that. He
You
just
right.
genuinely loved hip hop. Like,
Right.
yo, I never heard nobody rap like yo.
I told you it was
Yo,
different.
He was letting New York know Philly got them guys.
For sure.
They already
For
knew
sure,
too,
for sure.
but they like to hold us back because they want to be our big brother. But y'all not our big brother, man. Y'all just the homies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just accept it. Y'all just the homies. Y'all ain't our big brothers, man.
Yeah, y'all like
we love
cousins.
y'all. Yeah, cousins. You know what I'm
Y'all
saying?
cousins, man. Y'all
Yeah.
don't live that far. Y'all right around the corner
Yo,
from
up
us.
the street. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
my cousin from around the corner. Like,
Two
you know?
Word Rogers stops away, man, off
Yeah,
the
right.
turnpike.
Yeah.
But
You know
I
what
mean,
I'm
at the
saying?
end of the day, it's like once you crack through and the Mecca, you know, the quote unquote Mecca accept you, like the world gonna accept you. So
No doubt.
they was the gateway.
New York
at that
definitely
time.
mean everything to hip
For
hop.
East Coast artists, yeah.
Hip hop, period, because you had Ice Cube and them complaining that they wasn't getting East Coast fans back in the day, even though they was big. They were like, damn, we only local.
Yeah.
We need New York and Philly and all them East Coast markets to accept us as well. So they fought hard as well to even get into them circuits.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm
I mean-
saying? They was big shit. You know what I mean?
Can't no artist survive without Philadelphia. Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So Philly, we like one of those pinnacles. We like a linchpin city, like for the election, like we one of them.
No doubt.
We one of them ground. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
need Philly. Like if you want to be big as an artist, you need Philly.
No
And
doubt.
they say New York's like the hardest place to come out of, but I think Philly is.
Philly's the hardest place to come out for artists from Philly.
Yeah.
Right.
But
We'll
we're
accept-
quicker to accept artists from other places than we are to accept our own. And if you go to New York artists say that about Daytown. When you go to Atlanta, people in Atlanta say that about
Yeah.
Daytown. So it's all the grass always greener when you're looking at it from a different perspective. But
Right.
you
No
know,
doubt.
but Philly, you know, if once you get out of here, your skin is thick, so you can you know what I mean, you can get it in anywhere. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. So Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying, on the major figure deal,
mhm.
he was, you know, trying to sign y'all and stuff like that. He liked that y'all, y'all loyalty to each other, y'all charisma as far as rap and stuff like that. The deal went south.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you still held the relationship with Jay.
Well, I mean, it was. I mean, I always looked at things like sometimes things is just business. You know what I mean?
Right.
It wasn't like a ill will. You know, we just, you know, as a group, we decided to go another way. You know what I mean? It was just like, I never thought, you know, rich people took business like that personal. Like, why you know what I'm saying? They still ended up, you know, getting Mac and State Prop and getting them guys and they doing their thing. You know what I mean? So it still worked out for. I mean, obviously, you know, and they had great success. You know what I mean?
Right.
Maybe, you know, in hindsight, maybe that may have been the best decision for us. But hey, man, life, you know.
It takes its own.
I was going to ask you, knowing what you know now, would you have took that deal?
Sure, but I mean, I thought it was a good deal then because, you know, we got more money on the other side of the street. But the way Jay broke it down, I used to have a paper. He wrote on a piece of paper like the comparison, like yeah, you may be getting this from them, but with us, look, a verse from Jay-Z, $250,000, it's free. Beat from Seminoles is normally this.
Right.
It's this. You know, he broke it down the way it's the same money where we would have recouped faster. You know what I'm saying? But you got to understand at that time, Jay-Z wasn't the Jay-Z that he is now.
Right.
He was just really having his breakthrough.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, because at that time, Hard Knock Life album was really Jay's breakthrough in the industry. So it wasn't like he had the muscle that he had now. You feel what I'm saying?
All the business savvy and
you know, they learned. They took big lumps and bumps and got better. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
You know,
the thing I love about the Major Figgas movement is that y'all kind of did like a Wu-Tang thing too. Right. Everybody went and got deals after that.
Right.
On top of the group deal, everybody had their own bit.
Right.
You know what I mean? So let's talk about Un. What was Un?
What's crazy is we all had our individual deals before we had the group deal.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
So,
Okay.
Because, I mean, man, shout out to Un gave us an opportunity. We ran up on Un and Justin's. He in there having dinner. We started rapping.
He in mid-lamb chop.
You know what I mean?
Big boy.
But, you know, we had and we actually had an issue because it was like some of us, you know, didn't have it in the contracts that we could do Major Figures. So we had to go back to the table and get that fixed so we could do Major Figures.
That was love.
But we all had the understanding it, and we always articulated to whoever, like, Major Figures was first priority. The solo things just happened off the wing. Like, you know what I'm saying? We came in as the Figures, you know what I mean? So whatever happened individually was just a byproduct of MF, you know what I mean?
Right.
So we never lost sight of that.
No, that's
No
dope.
doubt. So did you ever imagine that you would be, you know, on that label, signed to, you know, Biggie, right-hand man?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you like, damn, did you ever want to sign with Big? Did you ever have that dream or aspiration or try to get close to people that was next to him?
I mean, I never, you know, we all grew up fans listening to that stuff. It was like, the way it happened, it was like, guys that I grew up with fans of watching their videos and listening to their music, you know, 6 months later, I'm in the studio with them. So it was like, it happened that fast, but, you know, it was like an honor. And I used to always listen to him because he used to tell me, well, Big used to operate, do things this way or do things that way, you know, and I used to take little techniques, little advices, little things to try to make my game better, you know. I'm a listener, you know what I mean? I'm a sponge, like I'm not I know everything guy.
No doubt.
So if there's anything that can make my game be better, you know what I'm saying, I'm always trying to implement it.
So you had the opportunity to be in the lab with B.I.G.
No, B.I.G. was already gone.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, I was in, like, all the guys, it wasn't just unlike his whole inner circle was all around.
Yeah.
So it was like I was
still remnants of Big around at all times.
Yeah, you know, even when I stayed at Uncrib, Lil' Kim lived up the street from us. So it was like I would see D-Rock and see Gutter and all, you know, C's. We
built that relationship with them as well.
Exactly, you know what I mean? So it was like I would get different little stories about how things was or how they operated, how they performed, how, you know, like it was just things I never experienced. You know how it was, Teefy we didn't have a bunch of blueprint people from our city to show us what to do.
Yeah.
So we didn't know.
No doubt.
We didn't know.
No, for sure. So you got booked right before the album, you and Dutch and Spade.
I mean, I kind of got booked like within the process of all
the process?
Yeah, because it was like we had completed the album, but then the situation happened with Un and Jay and them. So it was a label switch happened, and it was like some things that happened that kind of held the Dutch and Spade album up.
Right.
So when the release of an album get held up, the release of the money get held up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know.
So y'all went from Entertainment to Interscope.
Yeah, Entertainment moved from Sony to Interscope.
Oh, okay.
Because it was
still was under.
Yeah, because it was us on Sony. It was us. It was Entertainment. It was us, Cameron, and Charlie.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And then when we went to Interscope, it was only us.
Right.
You know, so it was kind of like you know, that thing went on for a little while. So, you know, at the end of the day, the bill's still coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, you got rap dreams, you got ambitions and all of that, but this is the underbelly of the business that you got to pay attention to.
When I heard Dead Man walking on that big cat, John, big cat with that sleigh.
That was a big cap and foam as the
flex, yeah.
Live from the tunnel.
Yeah, I was still in Texas with that joint too. Yeah. That joint was, I'm like, yo, Philly move. I was happy. Like, I'm down there with all Chicago niggas, all Cali niggas. Like, so I gotta rep my town, and that was the only thing I could rep. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? I ain't had no other choice. You feel me? Yeah. Like, it was like, yeah, we got Major Figures, that's your Spade. We got Beanie Siegel, we got Eve. Like, so they spit in they joint. They got Twister. They had Chicago only had Twister, Yuck Mouth, and you know what I mean. Do or Die. Yeah. They ain't have a lot of artists either, but they still
Common Sense, maybe.
Not even Common.
No.
Yeah. Common wasn't even popping. They ain't never talk no Common. They always talk Twister, Yuck Mouth, and
Do or Die.
And Do or Die.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I never heard of them niggas. You feel what I'm saying? We got these niggas. Listen to this. You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
That was the biggest thing. Like, that was like one of the proudest things. Like, we made people be proud to be from Philly.
No doubt.
You feel what I'm saying? It was like, yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, we on now.
Yeah.
So like,
and besides that, we only had AI. You know what I mean?
Yeah, facts.
So was you on the floor when AI crossed Mike over?
For sure.
You was right there on the floor.
Legendary.
You was right there when he flipped Mike over.
For sure.
That was heavy.
Did you lose your mind when you seen that?
I mean, I lost everything.
That was crazy. AI crossing Jordan, you right there on the wood.
Right there, man.
Damn. That's a heavy job, bro.
Got to experience that type of stuff, man. You know, I never imagined it. Like, you know what I mean? That stuff don't happen for guys like us coming in the trenches.
Right, don't.
You like, yo, like, this is
that's a legendary historical moment, man, in the city of Philly, man. Well, in the world.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? A young great crossing over an older great, you know what I'm saying? And getting the buckets and, you know, pitting on for Philly. AI was turned. You know what I'm saying? I was repping AI to the max.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Then
still repping
when AI. I can't, no, for sure.
AI's from Philly.
Yeah, he's from Philly.
Bianca was the first one to take me to a Sixers game.
Oh, yeah?
When I came home.
Yeah.
B took me to the game.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? Everybody thought I was B's boyfriend, but that's my cousin. You know what I mean? I had the koozie on, yellow Joe with the hat. Yeah. You know what I mean? B was the first person to take me to a Sixers game. So I was like heavy proud of the figures for that. Like, damn, you got my cousin Bianca. You know what I'm saying? She, you know, able to take me to the game before I left. She was still a young girl. You feel what I'm saying? Right. Like, she wasn't, you know, popular. She was popular in the hood, but she wasn't, like, famous. You know what I'm saying? But she was the first person to take me to a Sixers game. Shout out to B. Love you.
Shout out to B.
You know what I mean? B. Jones, you know what I mean? First lady. You already know she's the first one to take me to the game, so I was super happy for that, man. You know what I mean? That was love. I was like, damn, Major Figures on some shit. So how you Ube, you know what I mean? My uncle, you know what I'm saying? He was like your manager.
Yep.
So how you meet U?
I knew Cool through other ways as well, you know what I mean? But then once, you know what I mean, the music stuff, I didn't even know he dealt with the music.
Right.
So somebody brought me down here because Bump used to come down here and rap with, I think Wadia used to mess with somebody from up the Ocho.
Why not?
So she used to bring us down because she worked at Cool Shop.
No doubt, New Dimensions, yeah.
So I used to come down with Bump because that's how I met Bianca. From being around Wadia, you know what I mean? Okay. And that's how I ended up start messing with Cool. You know, Cool was managing Bianca. So then once me and him started to get a rapport and was kicking it, I'm like, all right, yeah, come on. You know what I'm saying? But, you know.
What about Tino Brown?
Tino Brown's a real Tino Brown was one of the, him and Marcus Graham was like one of the foundations of the whole Figures in general.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Shout out to Tino.
Shout out to Tino Brown and Marcus Graham. You know what I mean? It was their brainchild that really saw the long run. You know what I'm saying? We was just rapping. Like, it wasn't no rappers from Philly. Like, it wasn't nobody.
It wasn't
nobody was putting out mixtapes. That was like new stuff. Like, nobody, like, we started doing that. Like, nobody was rapping over people beats and putting it on tapes and putting them in the store. Like, nobody was doing that in Philadelphia. Like, the dudes in New York might have did it on the Clue tapes and that type of stuff. But nobody from Philly was putting out their own tapes like that.
Right.
So we
was the first.
Nah, we was putting out mixtapes on our own before Cav. Like, that's what made Cav start messing with us.
Right.
Like,
Cav
we got ourselves
DJing.
Yeah, he was on the radio, but at that time, Kev wasn't even the biggest DJ in Philly. It was DJ Ran.
It was Ran.
It was Ran. Ran was the man. Before it was the come up show, when it was radioactive. It was Ran and Kobe Cole. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we had to, you know, back then they had the doors bolted shut. You know, a Philly artist couldn't even get in there. You know what I mean? So
like Fort Knox, nobody even know what Pop 9 was at. It was all the way up
Domino Lane.
Yeah, that joint was a hype.
So we had to kind of get ourselves hot, and then they started. Okay. Then they, you know what I mean, we kind of, I mean, I already knew Kev because I knew his twin brother because they used to make beats. Right. So I've been knew Kev, but he didn't really have the ball. But once he got the ball, we was like one of the first teams he embraced. Us, you know, they always mess with Ram Squad, you know what I mean? Yeah, no doubt. But Ram was more connected to Ram Squad than Kev. Like Kev, us, you know, see, you know what I mean? All of that stuff. Like them legendary come up show nights came from that.
Come up show was legendary.
Yeah.
So your most famous song is with Styles P?
About my business.
About my business.
Yeah. It depends on who you asking. You know what I mean? Yeah. People like different stuff, man. Yeah, but that was like, you know, because he was one of my favorites. You know what I mean? To be working with them guys, like, you know, Mason and Locks mixtapes, we used to ride around listening to that stuff all day. So to actually get in the studio and make records with these dudes, I'm like, yeah, this is crazy.
It was heavy.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, this is crazy. And he came right in.
Full fifth in it.
He came and did that thing in like 15 minutes.
Oh, in and out.
He was in and out. He like, yo, you ready? All right. He went in there.
SP the Ghost.
Pink, got out.
Yeah.
All right, yo. Shook my hand. Was like, all right, pleasure, man. And left.
Y'all had a joint with Luda too, right?
Yeah. That was when we was one of the first artists to have a feature with Luda.
Right.
But Luda took off so fast. We didn't do the label didn't get the clearances to do the video and all that stuff. Man. And once Your Fantasy, because nobody knew he was going to be that big. Then once Your Fantasy came out, he took off so fast. Everybody wanted a feature from me. So Def Jam wasn't clearing. They not going to clear Spade before they cleared Mariah Carey. Right. Like it just was like he was on every song, so it got oversaturated and they was, you know, like, So that kind of like, it was a lot of monkey wrenches with our situation.
Yeah. But, do you think they were trying to hold y'all back? Like, cause they knew y'all was super hot and y'all take over the game. And Philly already had, you know, Beanie Siegel in the mix and Eve. Like, they ain't really want Philly boys to really win. Like
I sure hope not. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I would hope like you doing business, like you should want to be as much success, you know, no matter where it come from. You know,
like Dutch said, they'll run with a bigger name first, though. So
when it comes to clearances, it's just like you an artist. Like if you got 10 features, I can't clear them all. It's gonna oversaturate the music, and nobody's gonna buy your album because they can hear you on all these other places. So the label end up helping all these other labels make money more so than they help themselves. So it's just a business thing. I ain't never really take it that personal, you know what I mean? I was just like, this the game. Because
I took it personal.
I mean, I did later. And like, man, they really...
I took it personal, man. Because I'm Philadelphia to the core. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really want the whole... Anybody that's an artist, a basketball player, a boxer, whatever, I want y'all to super win. You know what I mean? I don't want nobody, because I know how hard it is coming from these trenches, bro. You know what I'm saying? A person trying to do the right thing and, you know, change their life and change their perspectives on a few things. You know what I mean? I want you to super go. For sure. You know what I mean? I don't want nobody to hold you back, no chains and cuffs. You feel what I'm saying? Just let the person roam, man, and do his thing. For sure. You know
but I mean, you was on the outside looking in, so you can have that perspective. Yeah. When you in it, you don't really...
From a fan perspective.
Because you in it. Because you in it, but you like, damn... You don't know you being held back because you like, damn, we got to fly to Switzerland today and do this, so we doing that. You don't know. You in it. You like, all right, maybe it's the pop, maybe it's something I'm doing wrong. Right. Maybe it's things I need to do. You don't really see that you being held back, or it's a stumbling block in front of you. You can't really see it, especially when you're doing things you never imagined you would even do. So it's like, I'm getting effed over, but I can't really tell that I'm getting, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm... doing things I never imagined. Now that I'm older and I'm looking at other young artists and I want what's best for them, now I see little stuff like that. Now I see the stuff like that. Like, nah, they you know, they purposely like throwing stuff in front of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's what's up. So you did 11 years in prison. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? About some rap beef. You know what I'm saying? So as I'm doing my, you know, my due diligence and digging in, you was the first person to ever get arrested for rap beef.
Yeah, I mean,
if you look at it, it wasn't nobody else before you to get arrested for a rap beef.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what advice can you give these rappers, these drill rappers and stuff that's out here, you know what I'm saying, to not to fall victim to the same circumstances that you have fell victim to. You know what I mean? Because you was trying to make a living for your family. You try to make a living for, your nieces and your nephews and put on for the city and stuff like that. And you fell, you know what I'm saying, about some rap beef. And I know in my mind, me knowing Spade-O, that wasn't your lane. That ain't what you wanted. You never wanted to be incarcerated about no rap beef. You a real street dude. You'd rather fall for something more gracefully with somebody trying to, you know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah, so
rap shit sent me to jail.
You don't glorify it, you know what I'm saying? But, because it ain't nothing to glorify. You feel what I'm saying? You're not that type of guy. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew you. You know what I'm saying? As we grew our relationship, it ain't nothing for you to, glorify. But, get advice to the young guys, man, that's out here, that's on that drill wave. You know what I'm saying? What they going to have to go through and how to avoid that.
I would tell you one thing. One thing you can't do is be 1 foot in or 1 foot out. You can't be a rapping gangster. You're a gangster or you're a rapper.
Right.
And because even if you got one toe in the street, you in the street. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. They could just be a pinky toe, the little joint.
Another thing is like you beefing and you dissing and you doing this. You can never truly achieve a success because you can't ever perform. You can't ever go nowhere. You can't. Like, what are you going to do? You never get taste the fruits of your labor.
Right.
So you get all this buzz and people just watch. But the whole thing about it, you get the free buzz. People only can tune into YouTube. You're not making no real money off that. People can stream your music. You're not making no real money off that.
Right.
People following you and liking and commenting on Instagram. You're not making, and TikTok. You're making some money, but you're not making real money. That stuff that you may make over a month, you could have made in one show. If you could go do a show. You know what I mean? That 2-3 million views, you think it's something until you look at people that got 200 million views. Like, it's no real money in it. It's no, and it's
I was on
local. The music is local. Like, I don't, you talking about you shot John. I'm from Philly. That's the only way I know who John is. Somebody in Little Rock, Arkansas don't know. Somebody in LA or Oakland, they don't know what you're talking about. So they not really tuning in like that.
No doubt. So, I'm from the streets. I've been around for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even glorify the shit that I've done, or don't even want nobody to glorify no street shit, because there's nothing to be glorified. Whether you're in the music business or in the streets, there's nothing to glorify about, taking a life or even, going to jail and all that type of stuff. Like, we might sometimes beg with it, like, far as, I was booked, I had to walk the yard and I had to stash the whack and clunk a dude in the head and all that type of stuff, because that's some of the stuff, that eased our pain for even being in there. So we really sugarcoating our true feelings. You feel what I'm saying?
I mean, how you gonna glorify getting caught?
Right. That's what I always say. Like, you ain't nobody. Like,
you didn't do something great.
You got say I caught with 100 bricks. You got caught. You's a damn fool.
Yeah.
I don't care how many you had, how much money you had. You still a fool, just like me. I got caught. You got caught. We all in the same boat. And you ain't tough, because when you came to the receiving room, they told you to drop and squat, butt ass naked. Yeah. So you ain't no motherfucking gangster for real, because if you was, you wouldn't be in population with me. You'll be in the hole.
Hey, man, you know what they say at the end of the game with chess, the king and the pawns go in the same box. So,
that's a fact. So, that's heavy. And I don't play chess either. That's why I don't play. Yeah, I mean, for dudes that think they, super chess players and all that, in the game of life, not physically.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, everybody go in the same box.
No doubt.
You can go on the earth when it's all over.
Yeah.
When it's over, when the law off your back, it's over.
Yeah, we all, whether you're in a $30,000 casket or a wooden box or a sheet, we all in the dirt, man. And that tombstone going on top to seal the deal.
And the wealth ain't going with you.
No doubt. For sure. So let's talk about on deck, man. Yeah, I mean, you came home, you gracefully, you was able to survive the jail system and, you know what I'm saying, not lose a pinky toe or get a scratch on you. You know what I mean? Then you came home on deck, helping out other guys in the city as far as Quilly Mills and City Romanecki. Yeah. Let's get to that, man.
Well, I mean, that really was my vision. Like, I didn't really want to come home and be a rapper no more.
Right.
Like, that wasn't like me coming home and doing music, it was like a vehicle for me to help other guys get on. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't want to come home and, you know, do that no more. It's like who climbs Mount Everest twice? Like, you know what I mean? Like once I did like the thriller, the fame and all, you know, I always like just being a regular guy. Like, so I really was like kind of cool off it, but I always wanted to leverage whatever fame or whatever relationships I had to help other guys get on. I thought to serve the chance.
Right.
And when I first came home, it's like a couple of young boys that was in the halfway house was listening to people, you know, because it was certain names. You know, at that time, only people said was Meek Mill.
Right.
And I didn't really hear nobody.
Flamers and all that was on fire.
Well, Dreams and Nightmares came out.
As
soon as I came home, Dreams and Nightmares came out.
Yeah.
But what's crazy is the day I came home is they had the album release party. The show at the Tower Records. They tried to get me out to be able to come to the concert.
Tower Records.
The Tower Theater.
Tower Records.
Yeah, they tried to get me out. They came to the halfway house to try to get me out. But it was my first. I was on a blackout till Monday. They tried to. It was on the show was on a Thursday. I came home that morning. They were trying to get me out.
Phil came knocking. Oh, I think my man now.
They all came, was trying to talk to the person. They was going to do the paperwork so I can be able to come and all of that. But you know, the director was like, I don't really know. I really, you know, at that time, I'm like, nah, I just was in the joint. I ain't ready to be around no type of thousands of people. Like, I don't know what's going on. My eyes are still blurry. I just was in a joint 4 or 5 hours ago. I ain't ready. Yeah, I ain't ready. I still had the DOC blues on. I'm I ain't state boots was on. I ain't even have my street clothes yet. They came to
get you though.
Yeah, man, that was love,
no
man.
doubt.
I always got
but
love.
You was good, man. Cuz definitely Meek definitely
got love, man.
He put you on that powerhouse stage though.
Yeah, man. I was just like, he did more than that. I mean, the first time I went to Miami.
Yeah.
You know, we used the Maybach Music Weekend, man. He took me to live, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When the confetti fell on my head, I couldn't believe I thought I was a paid fool. I'm just standing there. I'm just standing there, and I'm like, yo, 4 months before that, I was walking the yard. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm like, I'm standing there, Wayne right there, Ross right here. I'm like, yo, the confetti falling out the It was crazy. You know how I am, Teefy. I'm a stand in the back, stand to the side type guy. And he's like, no, yo, come here, Spade. Come experience this. Come feel this. He's like, come stand up here with me. Come feel this. And I was just like, damn, this shit is life. Like, damn, like life really like this. You know what I mean?
Anytime you at a club and confetti comes down.
Dog, I never heard. I mean, I never in my mind, no. I'm like, bro.
It's on when the confetti comes.
Yeah, man, listen, the confetti, it was a bunch of stuff going on. I'm in South, you know what I mean? I'm in South Beach. I'm with the creme de la creme. I'm like, damn.
Confetti and ass.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm back.
Best hotels.
I'm back.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? I'm back.
No doubt.
I got to have it. Whatever this shit is, I went in. You know what I mean? I went in.
No doubt.
Real rap.
So your counterpartners, you know what I'm saying? Gillie the Kid.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? He's doing very well. You know
Tremendous.
Shout out to Big Broski.
Yeah. Shout out to the kids, man. It's my guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Stop hoovering all that weed too, bro. You know what I'm saying? You still blowing the pack like it's going out of style. That's crazy. My guy, man. He's doing real good. Wallo, you know what I'm saying? He come home after 17 years. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, put on for the city, man. We salute him. We congratulate him. Give him his flowers, Wallo.
You had to, man.
You did that, motherfucker, boy.
And he helped a lot of people.
No doubt.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, the expungement clinics he did with people, the free turn-in for dudes on parole, like the genuine relationship he got being in the room with them governors, them senators, YouTube, Google, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When he in the room, all of us in the room.
No doubt.
You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, people should give him his flowers just for that.
Give him his flowers.
And you gotta give flowers to respect to a nigga that say what he gonna do and actually do it.
Yeah.
Like real shit.
He was the first person, him and Gil was the first 2 people that, you know, looked out for me when I came home.
Yeah, bro.
The first 2 people. Nobody else. No niggas I didn't hustle with on the streets and did all this and that. They were the first 2 people. I'm still in the halfway house that looked out for me, besides Meek. Meek looked out, Gillie and Wallo looked out for me, hands down. Nobody else besides my uncle, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, you know, that's family. But I'm talking about my street crew, my street homies. None of them dudes looked out for me, you know, before Gil, Wallo, and Meek, man. You know what I'm saying? Them dudes is genuine dudes. You know what I'm saying? They sturdy. everybody like to joke and giggle and think they, you know what I mean, something to be played with and try to bed off and all that. They ain't no lame ass niggas, bro. They real niggas and they do real shit. I ain't ask them for nothing. They just did it out the kindness of their heart. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I ain't asked nobody for nothing, and they did it, and I love them for that.
For sure, you got to, man.
Yeah.
I love them, man.
But I was cracked. I came home with $0.
Yeah.
Facts.
I mean, the stuff that they deal with, you know, the venom they experience and they get every day, you know what I mean? They deal with it because they understand their responsibility to the culture and to the whole black community, not just Philadelphia.
No
so
doubt.
they understand their position is more important than their emotions and their feelings. So, you know, and then they carry themselves. And that's, you know, should be a great example for everybody. You can't operate off emotion, especially when you're getting older. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can't operate off emotion.
No doubt. No, for sure though. They definitely solid, man. They always Pop got a great relationship with Gil. That's like his brother.
Twin.
You know what I mean? That's his guy. You know what I mean? We could always be at Pop Studio, you know, kicking it all the time. You know what I mean? That's where our relationship really grew at, me and Gil. You know what I'm saying? It was at Pop Studios. That's why, you know, me and Pop, we locked in now, you know what I'm saying? Through all of that journey down at the 444 and all that type of stuff. So it's like, once you build the brotherhood with people, man, don't, you know, break them ties, because at the end of the day, man, we all we got. It ain't a lot of us, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't too many people that's gonna, you know, be there to bash for you when you down and out. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's like those ties get severed. You gotta guard your tongue. Watch what you say.
No doubt.
And sometimes people don't really feel that way, but an emotional moment will just make them say something.
Yeah, emotions.
And now you done broke the ties. You know that man can change your life.
Right.
Just because you had a moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you may not really even feel that way in your heart, but you just had a moment. And that's the stuff we gotta kind of stay away from. You know what I mean? Because we deal with a lot of that in the city of Philadelphia.
Right.
Because a lot of guys don't really deal with each other, but they don't have no genuine problem with each other.
Right.
But maybe an emotional moment may have caused them to say something that they don't really mean.
Right.
And it just...
They just don't want to take it back because they got their pride in the way.
Bravado, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like...
But it ain't never too late to come back into the fold. You know what I'm saying? It's never too late.
It's never too late.
Yeah, and as a man, you should have no problem telling one of your brothers,
I apologize.
yeah, I fucked up.
Even if it's not your
players
brother.
fuck up, man.
Even if it's not your brother.
Yeah, even if it's not your brother.
Because it's like, you know, respect is... Like people say, nobody should ever have to earn your respect. You know what I mean? Your respect should be theirs to lose. You should respect a stranger. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so if you wronged your brother or said something wrong about your brother, you should apologize to a stranger the same way. Or somebody you don't have a relationship with. Because that person could become your brother. Yeah, because everybody, you don't meet your brothers on day 1. Sometimes you meet them on day 10.
Yeah, no.
You know
day 30.
One thing my papa taught me is sometimes you're a handshake away from an opportunity.
And that's the truth.
No doubt.
That's the truth.
That's heavy.
Yeah. That's the truth.
Yeah, hell yeah. So, you know, you a legend. You know what I'm saying? You've been around the game forever. You're a connoisseur of music. I need your top 5.
Top 5. You was in my top 5 too, player. Yeah.
Just from Philadelphia or period?
No, period. Like, you know, in the game, we're going to get to Philly, though.
And I'm going to just take the obvious, the Biggies, the Tupacs, the J's.
Yeah.
Because everybody says them. And to be honest, we grew up on that stuff. So that's always going to be my regulars. But it's also some other people that people might not say, like Ice Cube. Scarface.
Right.
Face was crazy.
Jadakiss.
Yeah, it was.
Man, that's crazy once I took my goats out of here. And there's some newer guys that grew into being my favorites.
Right.
Lil Durk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'll say Lil Baby as well.
Lil Baby.
You know, they was the soundtrack to my float for a few years too.
Journey, yeah.
You know what I mean? So just taking the regulars out of it and just putting some new life in there, you know, that's 5 right there.
That's good. So let me get your top Philly 5.
Seagull's 1.
Yeah.
Ab Lava's 2. If you want me to just don't name no figures or just
no, you can name figures.
I'm gonna still be judicious. Yeah. Lava, I'm gonna say Seagull, Lava, Black Thought, obviously.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. One of the most underrated. Yes. I don't know why he don't get mentioned more is EST.
Robert.
3 times dope is one of, you know what I mean? He's one of the, you know, he was the first celebrity I ever met. You know what I mean? He was the first celebrity.
Yeah,
He was the first celebrity to me.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know he picked a couple of them Beyonce joints.
And Meek, obviously. You know what I mean? But that's just I could go on and name 50 more people. You know what I mean? But I just never feel like EST did his just due. You know what I mean? For what he did for the city. You know what I mean? Right. He was the first like real street rapper to really, you know what I'm saying, pop off. You know, I remember I seen him on Arsenio Hall. I'm like, yo, this nigga made it. This nigga on Arsenio Hall show. Like, yo. Yeah. Then I seen him on 8 for Bristol. Like, yo, boy, from around the corner. Now he on. This is crazy.
I got a funny story about ES, and me and him talked about this not too long ago, right? My dad couldn't stand that nigga. Listen, they come to the studio one day. This is when EST was on fire. Yeah. They come to the studio, and this crazy ass nigga writes his name in a black marker on my pop wall. Yeah, my dad was so mad, dog. Hiphop boys tag, you know, he was so mad. Tagging. Crazy, so mad. Oh my God! I never forget that shit. ES was like, "Yeah, I was fucking." That's that throwback hip hop, rapping, tagging, and breaking. You know what I mean? Niggas did all three.
That's the elements.
Yeah, they hit all three of the elements back then.
No, for sure.
Yeah, sounds dope with the shit. Them Gumbies.
Yeah, shout out to ES.
On the Gumby bit.
What? To the sit down?
I ain't come up in the Gumby.
I had a Gumby. I'm gonna keep it real. Listen, I ain't gonna be with the 3 parts.
So let me see those pictures.
My mom didn't never let me get that type of stuff, and I'm glad she did me a favor that she did. Shout out to Mom. Yeah. But if I coulda, I woulda. You know what I mean?
I woulda.
For sure.
You know your juice vibe.
Hey, man.
Thought you was Bishop, huh, Spade-O?
Listen, man.
I thought I was Q. I had the Gumby.
Q.
Kwame, everybody. Like, that was a Joan, man. Yeah, that really was a Joan back then, you know?
No real rap. Before we get out of here, man, I need you to give the advice to a young artist, man, that's starting from zero and that's, you know, trying to make it, man, out here.
Research your craft. You know what I'm saying? You got to make a decision if you just an artist or you just a rapper. Rappers don't make it. You got to mentally make that transition to being an artist.
Like that.
And part of being an artist is knowing your business, knowing your structure, knowing exactly what you want. Most guys, I'm just trying to get on. What's on?
Right.
Like, what's on? What is on? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I had a conversation today on live, man. A lot of these dudes be acting like they on, but I don't see no plaques.
Yeah, what is on?
I don't see no billboards. Like, what is we doing now?
You know what I mean? Is a record deal anything anymore? Yeah. You don't really need a record deal to become a artist. You know what I'm saying?
You don't, but you do, though, man.
Yeah, for sure. You need the distribution. But when I say that, Teefy, I mean how we came up with a record deal was. Yeah. It's not like that. A record deal was the only pathway. You needed a record deal to shoot a video. You needed a record deal to have your music played in L.A. Right. Now, that thing is a click of a button and you're around the world. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you still need a plan. Like, just don't think you because you got your stuff on DistroKid, like, it's just going to go. Yeah, it's hot, but who's it hot to? And you got to delocalize your music. That's why, like, the drilling and the dissing thing is like, you got to delocalize your music. And another thing, not to get off track with the music, but this is stop doing that, yo, because you're so much self-incriminating yourself, you're killing yourself. You are killing yourself. And all of that clout and all of that stuff that you gaining is going to come into that courtroom and testify against you.
Bury you.
So please,
you be telling on yourself, other niggas.
Please be mindful. And them people, them guys you just saying their names, you dissing, they got moms. They got grandmoms. They got people that love them. Like, you just digging up dinosaur bones. These people might have been in the ground 5-6 years and you still rapping and talking about it. Right. Like, and this guy sitting in jail trying to go to trial and beat these cases and get home. Right. You're not doing them no favors. Right. You're not doing them no favors. So, yo, like, lay off of that stuff. If you talented, you're an artist and you're talented, go up there, go in there and make some music, man. No doubt. You got to make
That's what it's about.
You're not talented if you need to get on by saying other people's names. Right. Go there, make some music, man. Make some good records and get your money, man.
Because it's all about the music.
It's a bag all about the music.
It's all about the music.
It's a hit record is a hit record. It don't matter how old, how cold.
Yeah, I say that all the time.
It don't matter. If you got a hit record, you got a hit record. And that's that.
For sure. We're going to end it on that, Giant. Appreciate you,
Love you, man. Love y'all. Love you, man.
Love you, baby.
Love you, man.
Boy. For sure.
Love you, man.
Spade-O the Great, man. We out.